County, New Hampshire Department of Correction.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, press 2. If you would thank you for using Securus, you may start the conversation now.
Hey, Mr. Brown.
How's it going?
Well, I don't even know how to answer that question, but we are on the precipice of something. But are you still in Merrimack? I'm surprised you're still in Merrimack, County Jail.
Well, I think two things is probably the reason I'm still here. One is the holidays are about to hit us. The COVID virus is supposed to be increased again. And I hit it with some papers. I've got one, two, three cases filed in the court, in this United States District Court.
Okay.
So that may be part of it too. Now I served it with the papers the 1st of October, and I think they might have got a little surprised with the way I served it because it's all done right, correct, and it's very incriminating against the Department of Justice. The habeas corpus that I had filed previous to that was also damning the Department of Justice. So what I'm doing with the Quantum Action suit is the Department of Justice is the focal point here for all of this problem that we have in this country with most everything. They are the conductors for all of the evil stuff that goes on within the government level and behind the scenes. But now that they've made it personal with myself and my wife, I don't have any choice as a USC Ranger is to never mind me and my case, but be concerned with America itself proper, or with the government, the proper government. So the Quantum Action suit is a legitimate suit, and the court seems to think that they can hear the suit, but they can't hear it. It's too much for them, even for them. Here's what I need. By the way, you sent me that set of all the guys, different people. There's about 40 of them in that little booklet you sent me.
I don't recall a little booklet with what now? I don't.
Yeah, not a booklet. It was you first the papers, talking about folding them up, and it was about Hinks and all these other people that have.
Oh yeah. Okay, like it was probably a summary of our weekly update. Okay.
I've been going through all that too. I see the cases. Every single one of them going to have to do what I'm doing right now. They're going to have to understand it. They're going to have to learn it. I keep thinking guys like Yuri, all this time, and him, and somebody else that was back in there.
Yes. All
this time these guys get in prison. This is absolutely ludicrous. The government should have been telling us how to work the UCC or the commercial law process. They didn't, because they were hiding the bankruptcy. Most everybody now that's within the circle knows about the bankruptcy, but they don't know what it really means to them personally. So they kind of, we got money anyway, blah, 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 blah. No, you don't. You never had any money when it comes to this money. You've had money prior to 1933. After 1933, you had nothing but paper. They create out of thin air. It's all a lie. But that's a side issue anyway. People aren't going to be able to deal with it until we get face-to-face with them and just explain it to them with graphs and details and films and videos and audios and all that stuff. They're not going to get it. We could talk about the ruin of faith. I didn't get it probably for 15 years before I finally fully began to understand it. And then now that I've got it, I'm very comfortable with it, and I understand now how it works. I know that the name is extremely important by you putting down without prejudice after your signature every single time you sign a contract with anybody is extremely important. If you don't do it, you're in trouble. But that's all side issues. So I just wish that those little booklets that you got for me, Yuri and everybody out there needs those little booklets to begin with, because those are the step one. That's the 101 for understanding who you are as a human being living in America, in the world today. They all need those books. $20 worth of books. There's 4 little booklets there. Tells you 90% of what you need to know about what's going on, who you are, and all that good stuff. But then you have to get serious. You got to get the redemption manuals. They cost like $400 for the set. You get 6 books out of the manuals, but it's an entire process. And this company actually even, 2 companies. One was the American Bulletin. You remember them. It used to be called the Spotlight newspaper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Out of Washington. Yeah, well, they're doing it out of the West Coast, and there's other guys on the East Coast doing it out of Georgia. And they're both righteous, as far as I can tell. I've been around these guys for a long, long time, and I've never seen anything bad come out of them yet. And they're fighting a good fight like the rest of us are. And they're giving you the way to do it, what you have to do, but you have to do it the right way. It takes some time to learn it. In the meantime, all hell's breaking loose. That's why I called you. What's going on?
Well, that's a good question. So, as I think about you, there was a friend of ours named Anthony in a Hawaii prison, and he got sentenced this past week. And he was exposing banker fraud, mortgage fraud, and lawyer fraud. They were taking kickbacks from the mortgage companies. They could not find one victim to testify at his sentencing hearing, and they gave him 20 years to run consecutively with 15 years. So that's a total of 35 years. There's not one victim. And, he actually had people to testify at his sentencing, but it was not against him. It was women who were testifying in support of him, how he's a good Christian man, how he has honesty, integrity, and character. And when he got a chance to speak before they sentenced him, he let them have it. He called them every name in the book. He said they're going to be held accountable. They have mistreated him in prison, and they have, done all of these illegal, unethical things. And it reminded me, yep, I'm sorry.
Will you please get him those 4 books and send them to him?
I'll do the best I can. Yep.
He has no argument. He shouldn't be arguing with these people. You don't argue with them. You can't argue with them. They won't argue with you. People don't understand. These are not normal human beings. I swear to God, you can laugh, but I'm telling you, they are not normal human beings. They do not think the way we think.
Yeah.
They think like the Asians think, more like the Asians.
Well, it was an Asian judge. The judge is a Japanese judge. Her name is Judge Leslie Kobayashi.
So, of course,
yeah.
They don't think the way we think.
Yeah.
Asiatic people have a different part. That doesn't mean they're bad people. Like the Chinese, man, a lot of the Chinese are wonderful people, but they don't think the way we think. They don't have the emotions like we have.
Yeah.
Asiatic people have a whole different set of emotions than what the other 2 races have.
The point I was going to share with you is, I consider there's a certain group of prisoners, Yori being one of them, Scott Fall, who is a co-defendant of Yori Phonecall, being another. Russell Landers is one. He was with the Montana Freeman. David Hinkson, he's been diagnosed with terminal cancer, by the way. He only has 3 to 4 months to live. They're trying to get him out on compassionate release. But there's a certain group of prisoners that is like you guys don't compromise. You, as a member of the United States Constitutional Rangers, you never compromise. You never you never say anything that you're sorry, because you're not sorry or remorseful because you haven't done anything wrong.
Nothing to be sorry for.
Right, I know. So what I'm trying to say is, because you don't show remorse, the other side hates you and people like you, and they don't want your voice to get out, and they ultimately probably will try to kill you or silence your voice somehow, and we see that happen over and over again.
They killed me. They're making the biggest mistake they ever made in their life, because the KZR are going to be known globally in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And I mean big time. These people have got to wake up to what they're doing. We could have, like I said to you a few phone calls ago, we could have made them look like heroes. They could still keep their positions of power, but they're too stupid to sit down and shut their mouths and listen. All they want to do is just keep doing and talking and building and moving, and nothing happens except more deaths, more sickness, more destruction, more into the abyss for everything. They're just dumb people. They don't think the way we do.
Yeah.
They think more like Satan does.
Yes.
I mean, really. I'm not into any of that stuff, that kind of level of revelations and satanic stuff. But the bottom line is, you got to face reality. These people are really, they're destroying themselves as well.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to really be aware of it, or they don't care.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
What is the absolute agenda, or not the agenda, but what is the overall feeling amongst the people, the lay people in the street out in the world? I don't know.
Well, I mean, everybody's talking about a potential riots, looting, civil war. Biden brought a bus into Texas, and there's a video of like Trump supporters running him out of Texas. And then Kamala Harris is like, she's the daughter of Satan himself. We didn't like Kamala Harris long before we knew she was going to be a vice presidential candidate. She was responsible for putting a lot of innocent men in prison. And there's one particular guy, Free Laser, who she has denied parole for him many years in a row. So there's a lot of strife going on, and everybody being forced to wear a mask, social distance. They're talking about forced vaccination.
They should all take the mask and just throw them away.
Amen to that. Yeah, amen.
They don't work. They absolutely, positively, you understand. I'm in prison, and I know this information. It doesn't work. That people out of Maine has come up with absolute information from CDC and everybody else testing that's being done. They absolutely don't work. The corporate government themselves say they don't work. So why is everybody still putting them on? Because they're sheep.
Yes.
They just do what they're told because, I don't want to get into trouble. I've never seen such a bunch of cowardly people as a nation, as a species in all of my life over the littlest, stupidest things they do them. Well, you have to do it. You can't fix City Hall. I'm all alone by myself. None of the above is true.
Yep.
But they just can't get out of themselves.
Yep.
It's not totally their fault because the corporation has designed them to become this way right through public school.
Yep.
So that's all that stuff.
No, you're right about the public school. The terrible, terrible situations with they've got our children, and we've got to fight for
a
our
whole new system, all set up, ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're going to turn it on to the government after we get it set up, after we can change the form of government. I was just told not too long ago, recently here, that the reason the people they're coming down the hard on myself personally, the local judges, because they don't want to see me try to change their way of life. They like their way of life. Of course they do. They're living like little two-pit, what do you call them, kings in their little thrones and up in their big high benches and shit at the desk. It's all crazy stuff. So they're happy. They're secure. They don't care about anybody else. Remember, they don't think and feel like we do. They don't even consider us in how we think and feel.
Right.
That's a huge mistake. If they make up all together on a global basis, half of 1%, I would be amazed.
Yeah.
With those numbers, look, it's going to take about 24 hours to be able to change all of this. The people have got to stop being divided. They're always divided. Everybody's going off on their own stupid tangents, and nothing gets done. I get down here and I got half a dozen guys in here working on the same information I'm working on, right? And all 5 or 6 of them are off in different directions at the same time. I said, what's wrong with you guys? Why can't you work together on one problem at a time? He said, you just keep talking, but you don't say a damn thing. You're not doing anything. You're just talking. Man, I get so tired of all this stuff because, the words don't mean. Remember, we judge a man by his actions or what he actually does or does not do, not by what he says, how he looks, how he sounds. It's just by what he does. Now, I'm not going to want to be the one to do this, but it's coming. This quiet jam action suit. Everybody wants to sue the Department of Justice. I'm suing them. Okay, but I'm suing them by myself. Isn't that something? And I have a really solid, serious case, exactly the case that you want, and nobody's out there giving me a hand with it. Wow.
Yeah.
Department of Justice to the top, ties in the Treasury Department, ties in the IRS, ties in all the other organizations from that one organization. I haven't spent my last 50-something years in researching this stuff for nothing. Now it's time to go to work and get this done. The Department of Justice is the focal point, the center of the heart in this country for all of the mystery woes, from the World Trade Center to the Waco incident to Gordon Call to crimes, all of them.
Have you heard? Have I sent you the book "License to Lie" by Sidney Powell, who used to work in the Department of Justice, and she's now a whistleblower. She's an attorney whistleblower.
Why isn't he talking to me?
Well, it's a girl. It's a lady. It's a lady. Yeah, it's a lady.
I get the case in a suit right now. If he wants to do something, have him work with me.
Yeah.
Nobody's working with me. They're stupid fools. I'm so aggravated with them.
Yeah.
I've got the case sitting there in the court waiting to move. All I need is a little bit of assistance here on the procedure and what to do exactly. And I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
In America, you got your chance right now and you're blowing it huge.
Yeah.
They're sitting back and sitting there waiting to see if I know the right procedures and stuff. And I do know the right procedures, but I don't have all of the things and the tools that I need to do it exactly the way I should be doing it.
Yeah.
I don't have enough time. So I don't have a typewriter. I don't have a word processor. I don't have people on the phone that can work with me every day. I pick up the phone, make a phone call, and say, I need this information. I need that. Can you do this? Can you get me this? Can you do that? And now I can't get any of it. I can do it all myself from the hard way. I couldn't even get your cell phone number for weeks.
Yeah.
Follow me?
Yeah, I hear you. I know. I know.
I'm one of the guys here that's doing it. I'm actually doing it for you guys. And I want you to be working with me and learning how to do it, and none of you are helping me out.
Yeah.
A few bucks don't mean jack if you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
So that's not the problem. The problem is I need the bodies. I need the people to stand up and be bold enough to say, hey, enough of this crap. Let's get the job done. Let's solve the problems. Let's find out who's causing the problem, and let's file charges against them and take them into court. Well, how do you go into court? You can't. No, you don't have to go into court. That's why you have a private remedy system called affidavits. You don't need the courts to use an affidavit to solve your commercial problems, or even if it's your civil problem, your tort claims. You don't need the courts. They really realize in the courts, but the courts are going to hang you every single time. Stay out of the courts. Follow the true law called affidavits. They're hundreds and hundreds of years old, probably thousands of years old.
Yeah.
So, there you go. So
Hey.
anybody that wants to do it right, have them contact me and we'll do it right. There's no secrets. I have no secrets from the marshal's office, from the prison system here, from the government, from anybody. We now understand exactly who they are, what they're doing, and they have no business being in this country, by the way, running Washington, D.C., but they're doing it. It's time that they went home. They've already taken all the gold and everything else. They're not going to get the rest of it. And we want that gold back, by the way. That's one of the things we want this World Bank to send back to us and return the gold that they stole. Now,
Yeah.
Switzerland is the heart of all this shit, okay? Switzerland was never hurt during the wars, remember? Because they are the heart of the Khazarian Empire today. That's why. They are the World Bank, the Bank of Settlements in Switzerland, okay? They are the heart of the problem, but they are the topmost group. They are the one group, one step down, or maybe the third step down from the top. But I'm interested in the top, and I think I know who it is. But, again, I'm not going to reveal that until I talk to the president.
Hey, real quick, you're currently at Merrimack County Jail. If people do want to write you a letter, do you think you're going to be there long enough to receive it, or do you think they might move you real soon, or you think you might be there for a while?
I think I'll be here until after the first of the year. They usually don't move anybody. I don't know why they would move me now. What's the point?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
Court case and stuff, it'd be more convenient for them to keep me here, which I hate this place. It's awful. And I've got these cases that are pending anyway. The appellate court, on the other hand, is also coming up, which doesn't mean anything. I've already sent them one of the affidavits too, and proof of claim regarding this matter, and I know they're pondering that and what to do. What they're going to want to try to do is try to ignore it. But if they ignore it, they can't ignore it. If they ignore it, they lose, and I win. That means winning my freedom as well too. They have to answer the questions because this is evidence for the QuietCam action suit. All of my cases are combined together now for the QuietCam action suit. This is the non-frivolous national security issue. QuietCam action suit for expanding fraud against the United States of America and myself. We are both victims.
You have 1 minute left.
And we both got burnt and get fried here. So that's what that's all about.
Yeah, let me share two things real quick. So Robert David Neal, I don't know if you remember his name, but he also was a prison.
Give me a couple. I'll call you back in about 15 minutes.
Okay, all right. Okay,
All right?
okay, that sounds
So
good.
safe.
Okay, take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
The caller has hung up.
So the two things I want to share, and he just hung up, and we'll respect the fact that he had to leave the phone. But I was going to tell him about Robert David Neal, who also had all of these legal motions. He was on the verge of winning a lawsuit against a BOP director, Charles E. Samuels Jr. We received his phone calls just like we're receiving Ed Brown's phone calls. And he was very, what's the word? Animate. He was very animate, but he was also very positive. There's a word like when you're very positive, you're very confident. He was very confident that he was going to win his lawsuit. And he had all the legal packets. He sent me the stuff. I've got all this stuff still. We uploaded it to a Dropbox where anybody wants to download it. And right on the verge of winning the lawsuit, Robert David Neal gets beheaded by an American Muslim that had converted to Islam inside the Terre Haute, Indiana prison. Now, what's the odds of that? Just curious, that he's about to win a lawsuit. He's very confident. He's sending me legal information. We're receiving his phone calls. And he gets murdered by attempted beheading in Terre Haute, Indiana. So it's very similar. I pray to God that doesn't happen to Ed Brown, but I'm just saying anybody that seems to fight these people in court and get on the verge of winning, they just simply arrange a killing. And you say, well, the Muslim did that. No, nothing happens in a Terre Haute, Indiana CMU prison without approval of the guards and the warden. They have shot callers, and the shot callers get their marching orders from the prison authorities. And no violence occurs in a CMU prison without the shot caller saying so, and the shot caller gets approval from the prison authorities. And then the other thing is this Tucker Carlson, and I'll cover all this again if Ed Brown calls me back. Everybody's what's the word? Surprised that Tucker Carlson's package got interrupted and opened. And, and they're like trying to figure out what happened and how dare they interrupt a package that was on its way to a destination. That's exactly what happened with Ed Brown and Novitex Government Solutions. Ed Brown wrote a long letter to Trump. He mailed it to Trump, and Novitex Government Solutions, which is a company, intercepted the letter, the package, opened it up, and sent it back to Ed Brown, and it never made it to its destination. So we can talk to Ed Brown when he calls again in about 15 minutes, and we'll put both phone calls together and upload it when he calls back.
Late at Merrimack County, New Hampshire Department of Corrections.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello.
Hey, Ed.
Hi. There. Now we got a little more time. Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue where you were.
No, I wanted to share a couple of things. One of the things I wanted to share, and I think I mentioned it before, but just to kind of reiterate, we talked to a lot of prisoners, right? I mean, hundreds of them. And one of them was named Robert David Neal, and he was filing a lawsuit against the Bureau of Prisons director, Charles E. Samuels Jr. He was very confident that he was going to win and that he had evidence of illegal activities and abuse and all kinds of, affidavits from various parties. And next thing you know, he sent me like package after package, which I collected, I scanned, I put in an electronic Dropbox. Similar to you send me a lot of stuff and I put it on your webpage, right? Well, next thing you know, like we found out that he's been murdered by attempted beheading at Terre Haute, Indiana prison by a Muslim convert, an American guy, a Caucasian guy who had converted Muslim. And anyway, it's just, nobody cares, right? I can't get any mainstream media to write any stories about it. I can't get anybody to have any sort of caring. So I just wanted to share that, when you talk about you're going to hold them accountable, I just don't want to go down the same road where they try to go after you because you're trying to hold them accountable. Then one quick thing too. Okay, but one other quick thing. Tucker Carlson has made a big deal in the public about he mailed a package and it was intercepted and it was opened and it didn't make it to its destination. And he's getting a lot of attention on that, right? And it reminds me of the Novitex Government Solutions where you tried to mail a letter to Trump. Novitex Government Solutions intercepted your letter. They opened it and they sent it back to you. But nobody cares about your package. But, the whole country is upset when Tucker Carlson complains. The problem is we don't got anybody that cares about prisoners or their lives. And I don't know how to change that.
I don't either. The only thing is, when Ron Paul is a good example, did not contact me, that broke my heart.
Yeah.
Because there's a man that has to know inside. He could have helped me out a lot on understanding these people and they're thinking clear, because he's there all the time.
Yeah.
When people like Mel Gibson's dad, okay, I called him and talked to him on the phone one day. I got him on the phone. He was called up when I was at the house during the siege, and I talked. And he never responded either. I had some great ideas, and even for a movie or two for Mel to put together, that would have been really good. Some documentaries as well, but I never got any contact. So for some reason, it's like anytime someone comes near me, they disappear. They don't disappear. They just don't communicate with me anymore.
Right.
Friends of mine back here in New England, not a single one of them communicate with me anymore.
Wow.
Not one of them.
Wow.
So that's got to be, the marshals are out there doing their good, diligent duty. The state police, also the policy officers. That's why they were created, to protect the policy, which was converted from public law to public policy in 1938, which is statutory law, which is admiralty law, military law. Wow, everybody. You're operating in the military law. You're under the military martial law under the Libra Code since the Civil War. Get it? Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
So,
I want to quickly. You may know this already, but we have 2 videos of Ron Paul on your webpage, and Ron Paul was being interviewed by We Are Change, Luke Radowski, and he called you and your wife heroes. He actually said you guys are heroes, and he lifted you up and supported you. And then Ron Paul got on Neil Cavuto, which is a nationally Fox News, syndicated show across the nation. And Neil Cavuto brought your name up in a negative way and tried to spin you as being violent and anti-government extremist. And Ron Paul, like you said, it broke your heart. It absolutely dumbfounded me to watch Ron Paul fishtail and to pull his support from you. And it just really shows you that people, they just don't seem to have the courage and the backbone that they need to have once the spotlight gets put on them. I don't know what to say,
Well, I mean, I see a lot of guys, really heads-up people, okay? I mean, such as yourself, myself, and others, that heads-up people, they just feel alone.
Yeah.
They don't know how to deal with this kind of deceit, because it's like everywhere you go, there's so many snitches around. These people, these Asiatics, these Khazar, are that good. I told you before, they're extremely intelligent. They really, really are.
Yeah.
But they're not that smart. That's what bothers them. They're not like street smart because they don't care. They don't associate with what's going to go on in the world. They're just so slick. They're so narcissistic. They think they're so smart than anybody else. They're just not. They don't get it. They don't realize that the destruction that they're doing and creating and the murder and mayhem that they're causing, to them, it means nothing. Because if 99% of the population of the world died, they would still be okay with that. And that's still nothing here, so long as it didn't happen to them.
Right.
They have no feeling. You said that other guy was a Caucasian, Caucasus Mountains,
Yeah.
Asiatic, Caucasian, Northeast Turkey, the home of the Khazar, King Bulan, 700 AD. Charlemagne was the one coming in to get rid of them. And that's when he had to change, and that's when he created the Jews in 720 through 740, East European Jews. That's where the Jews came from, out of Europe. Yep, fact of history, not theory, conjecture, fact of history. Look it up in encyclopedia. It's right in there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
even now, look up Benjamin Friedman, Willis Hotel, Washington, D.C., 1963, before Kennedy was assassinated. He was 5 months before Kennedy was assassinated. Mr. Friedman was assassinated for exposing the Khazar. He was an Eastern European Jew himself. Ashkenaz of Goma, son of Goma of Noah. The third son of Noah.
What do you think of James Traficant? His name comes up quite a bit in these discussions. Was he a good guy that was trying to do good things? He was a good man?
Good man, yeah. Mr. James Traficant from Ohio. He was a good man. He still is a good man.
Yeah.
What's going on with him?
No, I think he's dead. Let me look that up and confirm. But I believe he died in some sort of accident, and it was very suspicious.
No, but see, I mean, what's wrong with these people? I mean, so they can't get their own way, like little kids. So let's kill off these people who are making such a solid noise and stuff. Why? There's another way they can do this without all this mayhem and chaos and confusion, and they don't have to kill anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I just confirmed it. He died. He's now dead. I think he died in 2014 in September of 2014.
So they finally caught it to him too.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to turn yellow. Not
Wow.
because I'm a coward, but my skin's starting to turn yellow. So what's that tell you?
Yeah, they're not giving you proper nutrition. You know, David Hinkson, who also speaks out in a very similar way that you do, he's been diagnosed with colon and liver cancer, and he was given 3 to 4 weeks to live, although it's now been changed to 3 to 4 months. But he's a very outspoken individual, too. It's just so sad to see all this happening. And, I wish the American people would stand up, which you are encouraging them to do. I think that people need to stand up. Otherwise, we're all going to be in tyranny and we're all going to be in slavery.
You're already in tyranny.
Yeah.
You're not going to be.
Right. We are there now. You're right. You're right.
We are definitely in a police state. There's no question about that now.
Yeah.
Everywhere I look and see it, I see police state attitude, police state mentality, and people look at you like you're stupid. If they think you're stupid, you know they're on the other side. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Why would you do that, Mr. Brown? Like the U.S. Marshal there, Gene, whatever his name was, said to me, Gene Robinson, said to me out of New Hampshire, "Man, why did you do that? You had it made. Yeah, we had it made, Mr. Robinson, because we honestly made it and worked for it. We didn't cheat, steal, lie, or con from anything or anybody. We sacrificed over the years, and we finally made it. And then you guys didn't like that because the guy from the post office that came down and made the first rate, when I asked him why he was there, he said, because you stopped paying your mortgage. See, you're not supposed to ever stop paying your mortgage. Forever."
Yeah. Property tax, right?
So, well, we didn't understand. Now we do.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you mentioned the mask and how you think it's a big joke and to take off the mask, but you asked like what's going on out in the world. Most people are so deceived, and if you try to go into a store without a mask, or if you try to go to the post office, I mean, they look at you, and you get in arguments, and you have to almost fight these people that have been brainwashed, and they're talking about forced vaccinations, and there's some of us that would rather die than get a forced vaccination. So,
I wouldn't even wear a mask.
Amen. Yeah, I feel the same way.
Well, today no mask. Throw it away. They don't work. Why would I do something that doesn't work?
It's counterproductive. It's unhealthy. You can't get good fresh air.
More people have died. The last issue that came out of the main newspaper, more people died. 85% of the people who died were wearing masks.
Yes, right.
What's that tell you?
Right. It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. Yeah.
Okay, I got to go to a lockdown.
Okay.
Bye,
We'll talk to you soon, good buddy.
Okay. We love you, Ed. God bless you. And we pray for you.
We love you. Bye.
Bye-bye, sweetie. Talk to you soon.
Good.
Bye-bye.
The caller has hung up.